All right, so the content funnel strategy. So, like I said, we're going to be going over top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, and bottom of the funnel. Your content, your personal brand is quite frankly a funnel, right? And our content is what walks these prospects through the funnel, turns them from viewers into actual buyers. So, today, like I said before, we're going to be breaking down every part of that funnel and the content that actually walks them through that section of the funnel. Like, how can we take people that come in from top of the funnel content and use middle of the funnel to bring them all the way to a place where they're actually going to convert and become buyers, right? A lot of us, some of us have attention, we have the views, we have the leads coming through every single day, right? Maybe whether it's 10 followers to 100 followers coming through every single day, but those followers are just staying followers, right? They're not actually becoming disciples. They're not actually becoming buyers, right? So with that being said, what can we do to take those people from being aware, top of the funnel, to actually being in a position where they're now converting, right? Or for you guys that are struggling to get lead flow, struggling to get prospects even in front of you, okay, how can we utilize top of the funnel to bring awareness to our page so that we have people coming and wanting what we have, or at least getting acquainted with us so that they can see what we have, right? And then we can use middle of the funnel to obviously take them further down and show them and build trust with them so they actually, become buyers. Let me let Eddie's Fathom up in here, right? So, nonetheless, let's go right into it. We good? You guys see this? Okay, I'm going to go over this once more. Going viral won't build your business, right? A lot of people get caught up in the viral trap. They're chasing bigger numbers. We know that views do not correlate necessarily with conversion, right? What it takes to convert is connection, right? So millions of views, but a lot of people with low intent, random audiences. You have no target whatsoever. You're looking at the vanity metrics. Likes don't pay your bills, which is like one of the biggest things that a lot of you guys I see focused on. You're focused so much on likes, and you guys get discouraged. But I want you guys to understand that your likes are not paying your bills. Your likes do not represent the, I want to say, emotion that you store up in people. You might have 15 likes on your video, but 15 people might have seen that video and be moved by it, right? This is why you need to be focused on just genuinely serving with your content, and then 15-second time frames. We can't expect people to convert for only dropping top of the funnel, super surface level content. Not how it works. The real goal is to have qualified buyers come in, people that are actively looking for solutions, right, for their problem, whether it's fat loss, whether it's learning calisthenics, whether it's, gaining muscle while being, starting at that skinny position. Our goal is to build a deep trust with these people, actually get them to a position where they rock with this, generally like us for who we are. They know us enough to trust us, and then obviously have revenue coming through, consistent sales, right? We don't want to be in this cycle of chasing lead after lead, which I see some of you guys in. It's like you guys are chasing down leads when realistically you should be showcasing yourself and who you are as a person. And as a byproduct of you being in that desired state of your ideal client and showcasing your thought process and showcasing how you got there, they should want what you have, right? So today we're going to be breaking down first the 7-11-4 rule, right? So the 7-11-4 rule, we talked about it, and Alex Ramosi actually is the one that came up. I'm not sure if he came up with it, but I got it from him. So 7 hours, 11 touch points, and 4 different platforms, right? This is what it takes for someone to actually make a purchase decision, right? For their buyer's intent to be at 100%, and they are going to be, I'm just going to invest in myself, right? So it takes 7 hours worth of content. And what I'm going to break down is the importance. We did the YouTube masterclass the other day, right? And we went over this rule again. And the reason I'm going to touch on that again is because a lot of you guys right now are so focused on prioritizing Instagram that you're neglecting your YouTube, right? Raise of hands. Who actually dropped a YouTube video in the last 7 days? Raise your hand in the chat. That's one. Who else? and you wonder why you're not making money. Do you see what I'm saying? We had that masterclass, what, a week ago from today. It's been 7 days, and you're wondering why your business is like not growing, right? In that masterclass, I went over the importance of posting YouTube and how on IG you can post 140 3-minute long reels, and it would take that many reels to actually hit that 7 hour mark. They would need to consume 140 3-minute reels to hit that 7 hour mark. But on YouTube, you can post 20-minute, 40-minute long videos. That podcast I did with my parents, so many people came in from that. It built so much trust because I wasn't speaking for myself, and it was an hour long. Some of you guys even in here watched it, right? But that video is literally an asset. It's an evergreen asset that's always there, and it builds trust for me without even me talking to someone in the DMs, without me posting on my story, without me doing anything, quite frankly. And it was a one-time thing. I filmed it one time, and it's always going to be there. So now I have an asset working for me 24 hours of the day that I don't have to touch again, right? My Calendly link's in the description. And nonetheless, when I'm talking to someone in the DMs and they want to know more about me, they just go over to my YouTube and they can watch that. There's one person. Isaac is the only person that dropped YouTube in the last 7 days. That's the problem, right? And you wonder why your business is not growing. You're not working fast enough. It takes 7 hours worth of consumption for someone to get to the state where they're like, yo, I'm going to buy this, right? 11 different touch points. So touching on and resonating on 11 different bases, and then 4 different platforms. So we got YouTube, there's IG stories, there's IG reels, and then there's the fourth one would be even DMs, right? Direct messages, right? We're hitting all these four different platforms, right? But this is what builds that trust. This is what builds that foundation. A lot of you guys are only rocking with one of the platforms. You guys are only focused on reels, and you neglect the other 3. Right? Super important. A lot of you guys, this one slide alone is the one variable that can take your business from, being at that 2K, maybe 3K to being over 10K plus. Like this slide alone, right? But you guys don't really grasp the idea that you guys have to spend time with these people for them to want what you have. Like when you really take yourself out of your body for a second and think about your personal brand and your just IG alone, watching just short form videos, do you think it's enough to make you want, like, would you buy from you if you just watch your IG reels? Like, would you actually buy from you if you just only had the option of looking through IG reels? Because that's what a lot of you guys that's the position you're in. You only have reels, right? But if you were looking at your own reels, is it enough for you to buy? Does that build enough trust? Does that get acquainted with you enough to actually make a buying decision? Right? And nonetheless, you're selling 2.5 to 5K packages, right? These people need to like you for who you are, but they don't know who you are because you try and squish it in a minute and a half video or 2 minute long video. Some of you guys are not even posting 2 minute long videos where you're talking, right? So this is huge. Next slide. Watch time is the currency of trust. So we want to spend as much time possible with these prospects. And your content allows you to do that when you're not present. Take that in. Your content works for you 24 hours of the day. It literally does. When you film that YouTube video for this week, that YouTube video is going to be there forever and always. Right? Like I mentioned, the video of my parents talking about me growing up and the type of man I am and the discipline I have. And, mind you, I'm not speaking for myself, but I'm having someone like literally my own parents speak for me. That is that's an asset that's going to be up evergreen. It's not going anywhere. And when people want to know more about me, because I hit them up in the DMs, whether it's from inbound outreach and they liked my video, I hit them up. Guess what? If they want to know more about me, they can go to my YouTube and they can watch that. and they can sit down with me and my parents for 45 minutes and just learn more about me, learn more about the person that they're actually going to invest in, right? So our goal should be, how can I spend the most amount of time? How can I be so accessible to my prospects that they can know me inside and out, so that they can get to a position where they're confident in the decision that they're making. Like, bro, the leads that I've like, even Logan, for example, or Edwin, for example, like, there's so little resistance on sales calls. I don't get objections anymore. I don't, because my content pre-handles everything, which we're also going to get into. And they spend so much time with me. There was so much trust and connection built up just from my content and the type of content I post, that they're just ready to make a buying decision. Right? It feels like they already know who I am. Right? Would you guys, like, literally ask yourself, would you invest in someone that you feel like you don't know, or you don't resonate with? You don't know enough to resonate? Like, you wouldn't. You absolutely wouldn't. Right? When it comes to a service, right? A product, oh, maybe you got a recommendation and you see a product, you might buy the product. A service is different. You're working with this person, right? You have to make sure that your ideals and your morals are in line. How can you do that if you're not showcasing who you are? If you don't give them accessibility to spend time with you, and then we're in the DMs expecting them to want to book a call with us? It doesn't make sense. Why would I want to book a call with someone I don't even know I resonate with? Right? So every minute of content consumed moves a prospect closer to the buying threshold. As you can see, this is the trust level, right? This is a scale, for example. Every time they consume a piece of content, their trust level goes up and they get closer to actually making a buying decision. That 45-minute podcast video I have with my parents, if they watch that in entirety, they are now a significantly amount closer to making that buying decision. Like, I want you guys to realize how simple this is. It is not hard, it's not complicated at all. The more time we spend with them is the more trust they will have in us, and the more inclined they will want what we have. Simple. It's literally that simple. But when we only utilize, let's say, like a lot of you guys are only Instagram, you guys are growing in like 3-minute increments, when guys like me are posting 45-minute long videos, hour-long videos, and I'm growing in hour-long increments, 45-minute increments, 20-minute increments. Does that make sense? Depth over width. 100 people watching for 1 hour is worth more than 10,000 people watching for 10 seconds. Those 100 people are going to learn so much more about you within that hour than whoever's watching your top of the funnel, B-roll type of video. Guess what? Out of that 100 people, if they stay for the whole hour long video, even if 10% convert, bro, that's 10 people. That's 10 calls booked, right? But think about the conversion on a 10-second video, like a B-roll video. Or let's even put like a minute long belief shifting video. It's going to look a lot different. You might get like one call booked, maybe. So if we know that, why are we applying so much attention to our reels, expecting those assets to be the one that convert? Right? And today you're going to understand the importance of YouTube big time, right? So the accelerator long form content, YouTube, podcasts, courses, like you guys can see, I have my full course breakdown. Who actually watched that full course breakdown? Who came from that? I had someone that I just signed said that they watched that. Logan, did you watch that? No, not that one. The full course, the course. right? Like you see what I'm saying? There was a another one who watched it. I don't think I forgot who it was, bro. Anyways, but there's my point. You know what I'm saying? Like I make myself so accessible to where, bro, when I'm sleeping, I'm working because my YouTube just evergreen assets is just working for me, building trust for me. So the three content funnels we have: top of the funnel TOF, middle of the funnel MOF, bottom of the funnel. These are terms that you want to know: TOF, MOF, BOF. Okay, this is a lot simpler than people make it. Top of the funnel: attract an audience, build awareness. Right, you're going to entertain, you're going to relate, you're going to build likability. Right, these videos are B-roll videos. These are transformation videos. These are the 12-second videos that you post to get views, get attention. Okay, the metrics that we want to be looking at are the followers and views for this, right? Because, like I said, this is the top of the funnel. We can picture a funnel. This is where we're trying to target a broad audience. We're trying to get just a massive attention and just get people in the door, in the room, so they can actually listen to the substance that we have. Middle of the funnel now: MOF, build trust, educate, solve problems, handle objections. Okay. This is where you're going to be focused on your watch time. You want people to actually you want to retain people's attention within these videos, right? This is where you're actually looking at your retention graphs for the MOF, right? How long are people staying to listen to what I have to say? So the point of middle funnel content, we'll get into more depth later down the line, but the biggest one is to build trust. Bottom of the funnel is to convert leads, right? This is where we're throwing CTAs, right? Typically done on YouTube. That's what bottom of the funnel is. Actually getting applications, people being directed to shoot you a CTA for a resource is honestly more of middle of the funnel, but like actually CTA to booking a call to work with you is more bottom of the funnel. Okay. All right. I'm going to slide over to the next one. You guys good? I see Logan writing. He's getting at it. I'll give you 30 seconds, bro. All right. Attract your dream follower. Attract your dream follower, right? The goal is to build likability, stop people from scrolling, get them to say this person gets me. Earn the follow, not the sell. This is top of the funnel content we're talking about, right? We're trying to just get people in the room, people that we want to follow us. Ideally, that's what our dream follower is. People that have beliefs that are aligned with you, morals that are aligned with you, but at a broad standpoint. Okay, like this is like just talking self-improvement, for example. We're not even getting into, let's say, being biblically moving correctly, or biblical discipline. Let's say we're just talking about discipline. That's like the vertical we're in, right? But we are just trying to get people to stop scrolling and enter the room, right? The strategy is to relate and entertain. Broad appeal, like I was mentioning, emotional connection. You need to share your passions, your struggles, and your stories, right? Some of you guys have some really good content as far as like, I'll use Aiden for example, content where it's like just B-roll. It's straight up B-roll, but it's like what that Dell Skyfall in the background, and it's just like him telling his story, clip by clip, and it's just sort of walking him like he's literally walking them through his life and his come up. Right, great piece of top of the funnel, and that did how what I mean, Aiden, how much numbers did it do in terms of just like awareness wise, like views? The best one, right? Like that's great, bro. You should repost that soon. Like I already talked to you about that other, but you should repost that soon. But that right there is a clear example. You know what I'm saying? Like millions of people coming through the door, and now those people, if you pique their curiosity enough, they're gonna want to know more. Then they'll consume more of your IG content. We're gonna get to the middle of the funnel, consume more middle of the funnel content, and middle of funnel content on your YouTube as well. Build that trust, likability. Right? Key metric we want to look at for just to know if we're in the right space, TOF wise, is if we're gaining followers consistently and people are constantly coming to the door. We constantly have new people to reach out to, right? And one thing I want to mention to all of you guys, and I spoke to Aiden about this the other day. Your content strategy needs to reside where your business needs it to. If you feel like your business in this place, like super simple, guys, super simple. If you feel like your business lacks lead flow because you are not getting one follower you're not even getting one follower, new follower every day, then your focus needs to be on top of the funnel. If your personal brand lacks trust and you're feeling like you're DMing a lot of people and they don't even know what you do, or they don't even want what you have, you lack middle of the funnel content. Right? But we've been running these content planners and whatnot, but honestly, the type of content you post needs to be correlated with what your business needs. Like, I can't sit here and say, okay, if you post X amount of these videos, X amount of top of the funnel videos, and Y amount of middle of the funnel videos, you're just gonna continue to scale. You're just gonna always scale. It doesn't make sense, right? No, what does your business need right now? Does it need attention? Okay, let's double down on top of the funnel videos. Let's pull back on MOF, and then maybe 2 weeks down the line, you have all this attention, or 1 week down the line, you have all this awareness. Now you figured it out, what content you need to post in order to get a good amount of lead flow through the door. Now we need to focus on MOF, right? Actually turning these cold prospects, these guys that just entered the room, into buying prospects. Super simple stuff. Top of the funnel content that stops the scroll. So you can do personal stories like I was mentioning with Aiden, and also this sort of ties in with number 2, relatable struggles, right? 3, passion and lifestyle. Cam's really good at this, like B-roll clips that also just sort of walk people through how you live your life. It could be like Anthony's Man of God video, or if you guys seen my video that was like, you know, I'm lonely, I need a girlfriend, or whatever it was. I forgot what the text was exactly, but I was showing my lifestyle once the beat drop came. I showed I was in the gym. I showed that I was in my word. I showed that I was praising and worship. I showed that I was working on my business, right? And then obviously controversial opinions is also a direction that you can go. Okay? So personal stories, share your struggle, your victory, and your why behind your journey. Build human connection. All right, relatable struggles, tap into common frustrations, and doesn't even necessarily need to be talking. It can be just in the form of text on the screen. Right? Passion and lifestyle, share faith, family, hobbies, attract people who align with your values. This is like a B-roll video where you're showcasing like literally the main pillars of your life. Like I said, you can show B-roll of you praising and worshiping. You can show B-roll of you in the gym. You can show B-roll of you working on your business, working with clients, and you can show people your lifestyle, and you will attract people that also live similar lifestyles. Like Logan is going the direction of wanting to do, hybrid coaching. He needs to showcase that he's living that life, and he's going to attract people that are also living that life. You attract what you are. Build unshakable trust. So now we're going to get into talking more about MOF, middle of the funnel. Right? The goal is to build unshakable trust. The goal is to educate your audience so thoroughly that by the time they get on a sales call, they're already sold. I need you guys to make middle of the funnel content as if you cannot take sales calls. Literally, have that frame of mind. Take away sales calls out of the equation. You can't sell, you can't convince on sales call. You have to use your content to do that. I'm telling you, your content is going to change significantly, and that is how you should be moving. Right? As if you can't take sales calls. because then you know your content is doing the selling for you. This is going to pre-handle all objections. This is going to put you in a position where when you go on a sales call and you're going over a deliverable sheet, it's literally, okay, the price is 5K and it's okay. Let's do it. Right? Or I don't have 5K right now, but how can we get it done? Right? If you guys are still getting objections on your sales calls, it's because your content is just not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Your content is failing. Like your middle of the funnel content is failing. Literally. If you're still dealing with objections. So I want you guys to get in the frame of mind. If sales calls did not exist, if I couldn't take a sales call, how would my content alter? And I want you to make those alterations. Right? I can guarantee that you're going to go in a lot more depth within your pieces of content. Right? You're going to have to answer a lot more questions with your content because you can't answer those questions on a sales call. You don't have one anymore. Right? So that needs to be your frame of mind when you were actually putting together your MOF content. Right? These videos establish authority, use data, insights, specific problem solving to prove expertise. Right? This is that gap that we were talking about the other day. Right? And I've talked to all of your guys' pods and we talked about this gap. You need to show that you have something that these guys want, and you need to break down how you got it, because that is what they're going to buy from you for. Right? I'm only going to buy from someone if they have what I want. If they have a mentality that I want. If they live a disciplined life that I want. If they maybe have even the things that I want. Right? That's how you establish authority. Use data, use your insight. Right? And break down how you went from A to C. Give them that information. Remember, people don't buy for information. ChatGPT, Claude, Manus, they know more than you could ever know. They have all the information they need. So what people pay for is implementation. That's what they pay for, implementation. So don't be scared of giving away too much value. Give all the value you can. Show that you are credible. Show that you know what you're talking about because you lived it. Right? But a lot of you guys are giving value without showcasing and vocalizing that you're in their desired position. You're where they want to be. Some of you guys are in a happy, faith-based relationship. That's something that people desire and want. Why are they not there? Because they're not the man they need to be in order to access a daughter of God, maybe. Use that. Handle objections. Answer the but, what about, or I don't think, or you need to handle all objections within your content. And how you guys are going to do, I'm going to break down the process I want you guys to follow, but we need to start handling objections within our pieces of content and then pre-sell the solution, right? So that's what I'm saying. Give away the value that actually took you from A to C, right? How did you go from no abs to seeing your abs for the first time? How did you go from not being able to wake up consistently at 5 a.m. to being able to do it every single day? Break that down step by step. How did you actually do it? Don't just give them give them practical steps that they can take, actionable steps that they can take in the videos so they can actually put it to practice, right? And I tell you right now, their biggest problem is implementation. So they might use it, see results with it, and not be able to take it past a certain level. And then that's when they're going to come to you, right? But don't be scared to give away info, right? And mind you, MOF is a mixture of good Instagram content that builds trust, but also this is touching on YouTube a little bit. I know we talked about YouTube the other day, and that was YouTube and solely focused on YouTube, but this ties into YouTube as well. Right? How can you handle objections within your YouTube videos? Right? This very much so ties into YouTube. Your YouTube is straight MOF. That's straight middle of the funnel to bottom of the funnel. So the MOF content, this is the objection handling machine. So with this being said, we need to identify the top sales objections. You guys been on sales calls. You guys have a catalog. Some of you guys have 50 to 15 to maybe even 3 sales calls. Take the ones that you have. What are the biggest objections you get on sales calls? Right? And then you're going to break those down. You're going to break those down and use those objections as content bases. Now we're creating content that sells for us. Do you understand what I'm saying? We're pre-handling objections before they ever make it to the sales calls. And this is why I don't get objections. Like Logan, yeah, like literally Logan that's in here. Like he's in here and he's doing great, bro. No objections. It's like, yo, okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Right? It's because you need to put out content that pre-handles those objections. Right? Load social proof. So client reviews, case studies. Obviously, those of you guys like Aiden, I would say you have more client testimonials than I would know. So you need to showcase your client testimonials more, I would say. Right? Especially that 50-year-old guy that's bro, that's running it up, bro. I would be showcasing him, especially if you want to target an older demographic that is qualified, that does have the finances to take that step. For sure, bro. Right? But you should be like filming long form videos with him or whatnot, going over a client journey. Like honestly, the best client testimonials are the ones you just literally jump on a call with them and just have a conversation. Just be like, yo, you've been in here for this long now. Kevin, how's your time in here been? And just chop it up with him. Right? Go over the lows, the struggles that he faced, how you guys fixed them, right? And where he's at now that he's in a better position. Decrypt the process, break down your one-on-one coaching processes, and demystify the offer to build transparency and trust. So actually showcasing within your content how you get down within your coaching. A lot of you guys worked on this the last couple of months by rolling out, one-on-one calls of check-ins, and also you just bring people into your client's perspective. What is it actually like to be coached by Cam? How does he cater to his clients on one-on-one calls? Right? That's amazing because it takes away all the it takes away the unknown variable of, okay, what if I join this guy's program and he just yells at me all day, or he's just not pushing me at all? Right? It showcases how you coach, and quite frankly, that's everything. That alone can be the variable that gets someone to buy. Okay, this guy talks about Jesus on one-on-one calls. This guy actually pushes Eddie harder, but Eddie did good. He made 7.5K. Why is he pushing him? Like, you know what I'm saying? It showcases how you coach. With that being said, that variable alone can be the reason why someone chooses you over the other coach, right? Because the way they coach is still unknown. For all they know, they don't even know if they're taking one-on-one calls with their clients. They might not be. We want to deploy free value, free value, free value, free value, always free value, right? With middle of the funnel. Don't be scared to give away the solution. And I'm not even talking about, it doesn't even have to be fitness related. Like if you were talking and breaking down a belief, a limiting belief that your ideal client has, give them the practical steps that you use to overcome that limiting belief. How did you conquer that belief? Right? But give as much value as you possibly can. And one thing I'm being more intentional about doing now is you guys see me using more lead magnets. Like I'm using ManyChat, and like that video I posted yesterday about the influencing. That's a lead magnet that takes them straight to my YouTube video where they can be nurtured even more. Right? On why I stopped influencing to start a business. So this right here is the loop you guys need to be following. The sales and marketing feedback loop. So we're going to listen. I said sales team because for me it is sales team, but you guys need to listen to your prospects in the DMs when you're doing outreach. What are they saying? What are their biggest objections? What are their biggest limiting beliefs? Okay, what common variables are consistent within each and every single one of their lives? Are they all busy? Are they all saying that work's a big thing that gets in the way? Is school a big thing that gets in the way? Like, what is it? You need to identify those variables and you need to make content out of them. A lot of you guys right now are making content from thin air. You're just pulling content ideas from thin air. And that's where your videos have no depth whatsoever. That's where your videos will have zero ROI whatsoever. Think about it. What if you actually listened to the people that are going to be buying what you have and made content based on the feedback that they're literally giving you? It becomes predictable. You know what you're doing has an ROI because it is based on data. It's not an idea. It's not a concept. Oh, I think my ICP is going to need this. I think this is going to help them with that. No, figure out what they need help with and then give them what they need. My content formula right now, I literally don't even do the ideating myself. I don't do ideating. Francis does ideating for me. Francis is in here. He's in the DMs crazy. He sees what the prospects are dealing with. He knows their biggest struggles. He knows their biggest desires. And then from that point, I take all of their desires, their struggles, their common, like the common traits and their limiting beliefs, and I'll make content in specific, catering to those pain points, those touch points. And now my personal brand is just, it's literally a nurturing mechanism. Right? My YouTube videos, like that influencer one, for example, and I'll pull it up so that you guys can see, like, dude, even the podcast, bro, everything was like, it's planned, it's actually thought about, it's curated for my ideal client, bro. Like, let's pop this up for a second. Right? Like this video right here, even this, like, yo, one of the biggest things that my ISP is struggling with in the DMs is that they're waiting on God. Like, how many of you guys have people in the DMs that you've talked to that they just say, yo, I'm trusting God's timing. I'm just focused on God's plan or whatnot. It's just a big excuse. Right? But 3 lies I traded, handling 3 different limiting beliefs my ICP had. This one right here, I dropped out to work out. This podcast is literally catering to my ICP's desire of wanting to make their parents proud. Everyone in this call can relate. You guys all want to get in a position where you can make your parents proud. I stopped trying to become an influencer. Bro, how many of you guys thought about being an influencer at one point and going down that route? All of the videos that we're putting out are catering to touch points that we've came across within the sales pipeline, right? And as a byproduct, we nurture our prospects. And I know if I post this video, it's going to help people. I know that if I post this video, that trust scale that I showed you guys earlier is going up. I'm not thinking, oh, I think this is going to be a good idea. No, I'm moving off of data. I'm moving off of like touch points Okay. And this is a lot of your guys' problem because a lot of you guys aren't converting and you're wondering why you're not converting. But it's so obvious. It's like you're making content that you think is good, but how about if you just made content that your ICP says they need? Like it's literally that simple. Right? Objections and then create content and repeat. That's the cycle. Okay, identify. Look, I'm going to go over it one more time. What are you getting in the DMs when you do your inbound outreach? What's the biggest thing stopping people from reaching their fitness goals? What's the biggest limiting beliefs that they have about themselves or about fitness or about calisthenics or about hybrid training? Oh, I can't put on muscle while running. Right? What are the big, how can you tackle them? And then you tackle that in your content. Literally make a video on that. The people that say you can't put on weight while you're running are scamming you from your dream life. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, bro, literally make content off of those touch points. Now you have assets that are just like, bro, it's unreal. It's unreal. Your content starts to do the selling for you because it's pre-handling every single objection and limiting belief that they have. And then repeat. Okay, bottom of the funnel, super, super simple. This is done on YouTube, right? We're gonna get into depth on just educating your audience, and you're gonna lead them to a direct call to action, right? Stop educating and start closing. Speak directly to the people who have been nurtured through your funnel already to make a decision. So they're on your YouTube, and I'm gonna show you guys. Honestly, wasn't even planning. I'll show you guys exactly what this looks like. Direct call to action, right? Build up urgency, and then give them a place that they can actually apply. So like your Calendly. But I'm gonna show you guys this just to put things in better perspective. We'll look at the same video. Can you guys hear it? Right? CT at the end, bang, bang, done, done. Bottom of the funnel. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is why YouTube is so important though, because the reason I was able to just oh yeah, I'd be listening to quiet time with Jesus when I go to sleep. I'm not gonna lie. But anyways, but if they make it to the end of your YouTube video, like yo, they're they have high buyers intent. Drop that CTA, make it direct, right? Something like that's not going to work on IG though. It's just too short of a time frame. But after I sit down and listen to you for 15 minutes, different story, right? I'm either booking that call or I'm going to open up to a lot. I'll be a lot more responsive in the DMs, even if they don't book the call from YouTube, right? If you send them a YouTube video in the DMs and they watch it, they're going to be so much more responsive if the video was actually a good video, right? That one, the one thing that I think I could have done better is just have more energy in that video, be more enthusiastic about coaching. But it was just a late night and I needed to get a piece of content out, and I did. But nonetheless, the same protocol that I just showed you, all right? The same protocol that I showed you. I gave them value. I walked them through how I went from A to Z, why I did it, and how it's turned out for me. And then bottom of the phone, CTA at the end. Simple stuff, right? Simple stuff. But I'm pretty sure, yeah, that was the biggest thing I wanted to talk about is MOF and BOF. Because a lot of you guys have TOF down, but you guys lack the middle funnel and bottom of the funnel, right? You lack it. After today, my goal for you guys is that you can identify what your businesses need. My business lacks trust, right? I have the views, I have the attention, but I'm not booking any calls, right? That's probably a setting issue. But let's say you're dealing with a lot of guys that are throwing a lot of objections on your sales calls. So you are booking calls, but you're getting a lot of objections, right? And your close rate is just dog water. Anything under 40%, you should be questioning what you're doing. Okay, like, dude, these guys are just not good fits, right? They're coming in to sales calls too prematurely. And I haven't, like, my content has failed. That's how you should be thinking. My content is failing, right? So get into the mind frame. Okay, there's no more sales calls. How can I sell without a sales call? I need to handle their objections within the videos. Okay, I need to take their desired state, their current state, and their limiting belief and show them how I got to their desired state, right? And how I dealt with those limiting beliefs. Take that objection they throw at you in a sales call, whether it's, a time one, break it down. But you need to turn your personal brand into a funnel, because that's what it is. It's literally a funnel. It is a funnel. You guys see people running websites and this, that, and the third. Like, your personal brand, your IG is your funnel. There needs to be top of the funnel, wide, broad, get people in the door, middle of the funnel, siphon some out, get them more acquainted with what you do, how you do it, build trust and connection. Bottom of the funnel, you're pitching calls, you're getting calls booked. Simple, right? I promise you guys know more than you think you do, right? And as far as content goes, like, you guys really need to identify what your business needs and make content accordingly. Right? A lot of you guys have been throwing out empty videos, meaning that it's just superficial, right? It doesn't make people want what you have. Right? By showcasing that you're in their desired point, whether it's the relationship, whether it's the skills, whether it's the running times, and whatever the case is, showcase it. I have something that you don't, but guess what? This is the thought process that got me here. Okay, they have that information now, but the implementation is still the problem. Where are they going to go? They're going to go to you for the implementation, right? So it's really just about assessing what your personal brand needs and making content accordingly to that. Right? If you're not getting any followers every single day, then okay, maybe top of the funnel is the focus. I need to lean in. I need to double down and get some more eyeballs on me. Right? But nonetheless, that's going to conclude the content masterclass. Let's get into some questions, a little Q&A. What's going on? You guys spit fire. Let's do it. Yep. Wait, say it again. Can MOF and BOF be in the same thing? That's your YouTube. That's your YouTube. That's your YouTube. That's your YouTube. Every single video, I'm literally making it for a touch point, and then at the end of that video, after I've broken down of our and literally walked them through the process of dealing with that limiting belief, or how I went from A to I'm throwing a CTA, BOF, right? Honestly, BOF is anything that actually has a CTA in it that calls them to action, to an application, or like Calendly. Literally, is the application. Filling out the Calendly link is what I was referring to. Hmm. 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 Educating them. See, that's YouTube, bro. You see what I'm saying? You're still trying to. This is one of your guys' biggest problem. You're trying to figure out, okay, how can I do everything on one platform, right? And that's why you guys get so stressed out. Like you're stressing, you're making it overcomplicated. How simple is it to understand that? Okay, YouTube is straight MOF and bottom of the funnel, right? That's really realistic where the conversion happens. Instagram is like for the awareness, appetizer, building that curiosity, right? So they're two different platforms that do two different things. Eddie, so the biggest thing that I actually noticed from just experience and actually walking it is that, yo, if you post good IG content, like good TOF and MOF on IG, people will just go and want to know more about you. Like all of your clients that you have now would have went as a byproduct of you outreaching to them to figure out more about you, right? And that's what funnels them into your YouTube. But I post my YouTube, like as you've seen, my latest video has lower views, but I post all my YouTube videos on my story, right? And I actually want you guys to follow a protocol when it comes to that. I don't want you just dropping the link anymore. I want you dropping a CTA sequence to the video to watch the video. So let's actually see if I can go in my archives on IG and I can show you, because what this does is it sparks conversation in the DMs because they have to CTA to get access to the YouTube video, right? And now you can continue the conversation. You can send the video, how was it? Did you get anything from it? And then now it's a full on conversation, all right? But I actually want to show you guys this real quick. Hold up. On desktop, do you guys know how to look at your view archives? Let's see. Oh, never mind. I got it. I got it. Did I? Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Window. Okay. So like this one right here, for example. Can you guys see my screen? So this one, for example, like this was the first slide. You know you were called to be more. It's not a question, it's a fact. You feel that gap between your potential and your present reality every single day. So I'm referring to a touch point that my ICP has. It's like they feel like there's more they got to give and they're not doing what they need to be doing to actually access it. And that idea is making them implode. The next slide. So what's the real question? Why are you tolerating it? The how is never the problem. The problem is the limiting beliefs you're treating as truth. I just realized I made a spelling correct. Like I made a spelling mistake right here. Crazy. Anyways, the ones telling you to wait, to prep, and to be more ready. I dismantled three of those exact lies and hit my first 40K month when I was 21. And then I gave them a CTA to my YouTube video. I didn't just give them the link, but now I had prospects in my DMs that came from the CTA wanting the video. And of course, I gave them access. I had automations running, I had mini chat running. But now I'm in a position where I can continue conversation with them. If they wanted the video, there's a reason they want the video. It's because they want more out of them. You know what I'm saying? It's a problem that they're struggling with. Now I can dismantle that in the video. After they get nurtured, I can continue the conversation in the DMs and proceed to just take them throughout the setting process. Exactly. Mhm. Bang. Exactly. Do you see how that ties everything we just talked about together? Right? But as far as in simplest form, like as far as bringing awareness to YouTube, post it on your story as much. Like it should be something you post daily on your story because you're getting out daily YouTube videos. And also just people that you outreach to, they're gonna want to know more about you. So like all of your prospects, what I was saying before, all of your prospects that already paid for what you have, Eddie, those guys are the guys that would have been watching your YouTube videos before they actually purchased or showed up to a sales call. You know what I mean? And if you have one, and the thing is, if you have guys that are dealing with specific touch points that you have videos on, what I would do is I would send them those resources, right? If they're really struggling with some limiting beliefs that I dismantled in that video, like one of the biggest one is that, faith is passive and God's telling me to wait. I've been praying and I've just been in the same position where I think about it for like 2 years. I've been thinking about online fitness coaching, this, that, and the third. I'm just going to send them the YouTubes, right? I'm going to give them some sauce in the DMs, but I'm going to send them the YouTube video. Watch this. Watch it in 1.5x speed. Should be able to get it done in 5 minutes, right? But it goes over exactly why you need to take the step now. They go watch it, dismantled. Now that trust meter has went up in like a 20-minute increment, right? And they're going to be more receptive in the DMs. But honestly, that's how I funnel guys out into the DMs. But Instagram will spark enough curiosity if your content is good to make them want to just watch your YouTube, you know? It's like, for example, like your quitting the job video. If I see that, it is gonna spark my curiosity. What does this guy do, bro? You know what I'm saying? This guy seems like a cool guy. Looks like he's just like enjoying life. Like, what does he actually do? I want to know more about him. He likes the same things I like. Like, I want to know more about him. I'm gonna go watch his YouTube. Right? It could even be from a simple B-roll. Let's say Cam does a simple B-roll video, but it's super aesthetic and it's matching the prospect's idea of what they believe to be a good life. He's in his word, he's up at 4 a.m., he's grinding, and it's just a b-roll video. So 15-second b-roll video, right? But it's their desired state. Oh, throw it yeah, you guys put your YouTubes in your bio. Use LinkedIn though. Use LinkedIn. That's a great question. Use LinkedIn, put in your bio, right? That's a great question. Good. But yeah, you should be throwing CTAs to your YouTube every single week though, right? but it takes you getting videos out consistently to that to do that, right? And make sure you guys follow the link twin protocol because you want to use deep links. You don't want to just use like regular links that takes them to the browser and then from the browser into YouTube because you want to get them subscribed because now your content is just going to show up on their homepage on YouTube. Isaac, what's up? Yeah, so honestly, for me, I actually just listen to that stuff when I do deep work. So what I'll do is you can search up green to blue on Spotify, and then I just go into the radio, and it has um a bunch of just like similar sounds. But um one that I use for my video that I just posted yesterday, which I really like, it's called number 19. So it's like hashtag 19. But I think that one in that video that I just showed you guys was green to blue. It's like it Yeah, it gets you immersed, right, in the video. So it definitely adds. Like if you guys talk on deep topics, um, it definitely retains attention. It'll get them to enter this trance like state, and they're just like immersed in what you're saying, which is amazing. All right, and it helps them actually digest. Like I mean, you guys can think about your own experiences. It helps you digest information better because it attaches your emotion to it. It actually sits with you more than if it was just you talking. So yeah, I'm trying to show you guys. I'm trying to send the link in for the video. Sorry for the audio that I used for the last video. Oh, there we go. I can send it in for you guys. From for a Bible study. Sorry, this is here. There you go. This one's for like one of those dealing with a limiting belief. All right, Eddie, what's up? Mhm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's middle of the funnel, right? So that's middle of the funnel. Bottom of the funnel is like direct CTA to booked call. So that's middle of the funnel. But yeah, that's perfect, right? That's assets. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, literally. So as you so like literally like I can show you guys another example rather than talking. I'll just show you guys. We go to my page. You guys look at the reel I posted yesterday. Um, like this one right here. Like this, once they comment, it sends them the whole video that we just watched, right? And then they get nurtured even more. But this is evergreen. This is an evergreen asset. So even though it has only this much comments, this stays here forever. And anytime someone comes across it, that asset will just automatically get sent out, right? But yeah, that's MOF. Okay. And that asset doesn't always have to be your YouTube video, too. You can do, honestly, one thing that I will tell you guys, do not put together dookie, like bad assets. Like, because people are going to get you correlated with bad value, right? So if you don't take time with the free assets that you're giving out, you're just going to leave a bad taste in people's mouth. Like, I remember going through people's pipeline and just like commenting just to see what would happen and what would I get, or they genuinely got me to a place where like, yo, I low key want that, and I sent them the CTA, and it was just like such a bad asset. I was like, it was like a Google Doc, or something super like minimalistic, and it just left a bad taste in my mouth. Like I wouldn't invest in you. I wouldn't want more of what you have because if this is what it is, I just it's not like really what I was expecting. You know what I mean? So with that being said, take time with your assets. Like if you're gonna build something out and you're gonna give it out for free, like take more than just 30 minutes on it. Don't just throw a chat GBT prompt, make this, that, and the third and just give it to them. Like that's awful. Like that's just gonna turn that guy that was gonna give you 3K and join your program, and he's gonna turn his back on you and choose someone else. All right. So just make sure you take time with your assets that you're putting out and make sure they're good. Okay. But that's something that helps significantly convert those top of the funnel leads, those cold guys, to people with high buyer's intent is is free resources. That's what takes those guys from being cold to warm. Eddie, you're already you're good. You're good. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. That's perfect. That's the perfect flow. If someone goes through that flow, like that's green. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, it's green because in that YouTube video, remember you're dismantling their limiting beliefs, you're pre-handling their objections, and after you pre-handle all their objections, then they're gonna book a call with you. Like, yeah, book a call all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be the smoothest sales call of your life, right? But it's like I don't you guys should not have to convince on your sales call. Like if you are, your content is failing. If you have to convince people to join your program on a sales call, your content is just failing, and that's what that means. Right? And you got to be like, okay, my content's failing right now. How can I do a better job pre-handling objections and helping my ideal client with their limiting beliefs, right? And then you make those adjustments and you won't have to deal with that. There will be no convincing on call. They'll just want what you have and understand why they're there and only be there to join. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? Any other questions, guys? What's up? What's up? Just do it. Just do it. Right? I mean, I can sit here and say, like, what's a good follower count to start YouTube? What do you feel like that would be? But why? What makes because it's like if YouTube is going to be the one variable that actually helps us build connection and convert, why not start that now? Because even if I'm getting 500 views on my videos, I can actually make the most out of that 500 views. Because 500 videos by itself, just standing alone with IG, like good luck trying to convert that. 500 views with YouTube corresponding, and maybe you got 10 people that go over and watch your YouTube video, you're gonna have 10 times more likelihood of booking calls. You know what I'm saying? Do both, right? And all of you guys, I'm gonna be making a Miro of every single one of you guys. A mural showing me how many YouTube videos you posted this week, the next week, and every single time we do a masterclass call, because we're gonna do one every single Friday, I'm going to check, right? Or I'll check on your pod accountability calls, right? Maybe that's what I'll do. Every 7 days leading up to your pod accountability calls, I'm gonna go and I'll look at your YouTube and I'll make sure that you guys posted one video, right? But that's a metric I need you guys to hit. One every 7 days. I post one every 5 days, and that helps me get an extra two out every single month, right? But you guys, one every 7 days. Super simple stuff. Eddie, what's up? Mhm, mhm. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, then we'll do it on the master class calls. We'll do it first thing before we get into anything, so everyone can see you're in action. And there is no excuses because, bro, Isaac's the only one that executed. I know that made all of you guys feel some type of way because you guys say you want it, but your actions don't show it. And then there is no excuse for why your business isn't doing what you want it to be doing. It's like you're not executing, right? And sometimes you need to get to that place where you feel it and you see other people that might even have more on their plate. You do it and get it done, and it makes you really think, am I really doing all that I could be doing? Or am I just avoiding some hard things? Some things that are not even necessarily hard. I just don't want to do them, And sometimes you need to be in that position. So we'll do it. We'll do it on the masterclass calls. I'm actually already prepped up the next masterclass call. We're gonna change up the pin posts of our feed just to optimize that. You guys are gonna see me roll out mine this week. But yeah, I have a new structure I want us to follow as far as that goes. So I'll probably do the masterclass on that guy. And then we'll go over just sort of profile optimization as a whole, like bio and everything. Um, unless you guys have something that you feel like is really useful. As of right now, the last two masterclass that we did have been on the variables that you guys need the most. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, this is what your content needs to be about. Like, I looked at your guys' problems from a macro perspective. Okay, what are the biggest touch points that I need to touch on for them as a whole? And I made resources on it. That's the same way you need to cater to your prospects, right? So, what do you guys feel like is the next masterclass that you guys want from me? What would it be on? You guys can sit on it. You can text it in the chat. But the profile optimization, because thinking of it now, I low key might just make it a masterclass that I just record and shoot in, rather than like an actual call. But yeah, if you guys have ideas, just shoot them to me, and I'll get that cooked up. I'll make a presentation and we'll run it. Cool. All right, guys, that's a wrap. Let's yeah, yeah.